Joining us now, as I promised, Maninder Singh, Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar on our broadcast. Harbhajan, let me start with you on this one. Firstly, many congratulations. We are all world champions at the moment, but let's look at this final. On final day, big day, India don't just win, it's a massive margin of 96 runs. Is it also a sign or a hallmark of a good team that come the big occasion, they come up with their best cricket?
Obviously, it's a big moment for Team India and for all of us. Since we are all cricket fan, and I've been a former cricketer. Nothing can give me more happiness than seeing Team India winning the way they have won this tournament. It's outstanding, and this is gonna go a long way. The kind of cricket Team India have played. Brilliant, outstanding. I don't really have words, but I can only say, this is something really special they have achieved. And, the way they have played, this message will go for a long way forward, that this is the new way Team India will play. Bold and look to dominate whenever they walk onto the field.
I think, Harbhajan, you're speaking for all of us when you say that you're short on words, because how do you really put into words what we've just witnessed? I invite you a similar question, what I asked Harbhajan. It's the big final. And two good teams have reached there. You expect a close contest. How do I describe this? Is this a win or is it a hammering?
Oh, hammering, because, in T20 cricket, if you win by, say, 25, 30 runs, you say it's a big win. Or you win by, say, 4 wickets in hand or whatever it is, you still call it a big win. So clearly, I think this hammering, when you won by so many runs, that is a massive hammering that India gave New Zealand.
Maninder, what do you reckon? As I said, big finals, and before the final started, we were all discussing pressure, 130,000 people in the stadium. There will be pressure of not just being the favorites, the pressure of performing in front of a packed house. And the way this Indian team has performed, it kind of tells you that they have nerves of steel, I guess.
That's exactly what we spoke about, that these boys know how to handle the pressure, which is very important because, there's so many Indians, millions of them, expecting these boys to win trophies all the time. But the best part about this team is, we would talk about that, they look like a unit on the field, but they're fearless cricketers as well. And a lot of credit goes to the coaches we've had in the past and now, Gautam, Gambhir. I think it's very important that the coaches, the coaching staff, they make these boys realize that they can play the kind of cricket that they played. If they play fearlessly, that is what is required in T20 cricket, and that's exactly what they've done. I mean, they did get a wake-up call when they lost to South Africa with a big margin, but they got it at the right time, and look at what happened after that. I mean, they just kept dominating. That is what they were doing before the South Africa loss, and that is what they did after they lost to the South African team. So I think sometimes a wake-up call is also very important because you could become complacent, but this team never became complacent after that loss against South Africa.
The one word that is being used by most of our experts in this broadcast is dominant. Harbhajan said it, Maninder is saying that too. And that takes me to the next question, and I'll put this to Harbhajan. India already the defending champions, so they're world champions in that sense. So they go into this tournament also as the favorites. Yet, the way this team has been playing under Suryakumar Yadav, I'm not just talking about this tournament, not just about this particular final, but in the last year and a half, is it fair to say that this is probably the best T20 team ever assembled?
See, let's not compare eras. Every era have different players, different, vibe altogether. This team, obviously, what they have achieved is phenomenal. They have set new limits to how they can play this format and how it should be played. When we started in 2007, we had no clue about this format. And to be honest, those days 140, 150, 160 was a winning total. If you score those many runs, you know that you can defend. And now, if you score 180, 200, those are still checkable scores. So this team have taken the game to a different level altogether, scoring back to back 250 odd runs, in the semis and the finals. Goes on to shows that they mean business. They understand this format better than the others, and they are far ahead than the others. And let's not compare them with Dhoni's team or Rohit's team or anybody's team, but it is all our teams, and we are glad that the journey where we started from, and it is that legacy is going forward and going great. The boys have taken the role, and they have taken Indian cricket on a serious heights.
No, I completely agree with what you say, Harbhajan. It is not Dhoni's team or Rohit's team or Suryakumar Yadav's team. I think it's all our team, right? It's the Indian team, and we are all very proud of this particular Indian team. But Maninder, you know what my point was, and what I'm trying to get at is, it's not about how does it compare to an MS Dhoni's team. I think MS Dhoni's team played the T20 cricket that the times at that time dictated. And then, of course, Rohit Sharma's team played the kind of T20 cricket the times at that time wanted. My point is that, just like in, let's say, 100 meters, you had a Jesse Owens, then Carl Lewis, then Usain Bolt. Every one of those world champions kept going faster and faster. In that sense, is this Indian team playing at a level which is a level or two above what we had seen in T20 cricket prior to this?
Yes, I believe so. And that is why I keep giving a lot of credit to the coaches, the coaching staff, to Suryakumar Yadav, because it's the captains who make a very important, who play a very important role in guiding the boys, because Suryakumar Yadav has got a lot of experience behind him. Gautam Gambhir, I know him from under 16 days when I used to umpire, and at that time also, he would play every game, a local game, to win. So I think he's got that habit, and he's making these boys realize that this is the best habit to have, to win and win with authority, and that is exactly what this team is doing. So I think, yes, this is the best unit of T20 cricket in world cricket, and I think the best T20 team India has had. I mean, we've had leaders before who have shown us the way, but Suryakumar Yadav has really taken it way ahead.
Yeah, I think the biggest testament to the level at which this Indian team is operating is the fact that, remember, in a semi-final, all-important semi-final, they get a record total 253. All-important final, they get a record total of 255. I know a lot of people are talking about the flat nature of pitches, but the flat nature of those pitches were available to all teams. New Zealand also were batting. In fact, many said batting will get better in the second innings, but it is your bowling that ensured, and then your batting by getting 20, 30, 40, dare I say even 50 runs more than the par total. That is what has ensured that you won by 96 runs. And by that is what I mean. The Indian team is really pushing that bar. Saibhai, to you, two back-to-back World Cup wins. That's a fact that's not escaping us. The first ever team to defend their T20 World Cup crown. What does that tell you about the health of Indian T20 cricket?
It tells you that Indian cricket is in very good hands. When you look at the performance through the IPL, I think the IPL has been instrumental in giving India so many players, not just in the T20 format, but in all the formats. And you can see the results of that. There are so many players who could have made it into the 11, but were unable to. But if they were available, if you had a situation where other countries could say, okay, you're not picking these guys, can we borrow them? Can we borrow them to play for us? There would be so many who other countries would have taken in their playing 11. So this is the strength of Indian cricket. India could well have fielded maybe 2 or 3 teams in this tournament.
Okay, Harbhajan, there were many good performers for this Indian team, and because we're talking about them being one of the best teams ever assembled, it can only happen if you've got multiple match winners. And I think this tournament is the best example of that. We had multiple match winners win you games on different occasions. But if you were to pick the player of the tournament? It's a tough one. I know there are 2-3 good contenders there. If you had to pick the player of the tournament, who would you pick?
Well, I think I would give it to Sanju Samson, especially for his last 3 innings. Last 3 games, knockout games against West Indies, and then semi-final against England, and now against New Zealand. It goes on to show that those 3 important matches, and he stood up for Team India and scored heavily. For Team India, I think his best inning was still, I would say, on that sluggish pitch in Kolkata, where he went on to score 97 and he was making a comeback, scored, brilliantly for Team India. I think that was a pitch where, for a new batter, it would have been difficult to chase, but he made it possible. He batted till the end and made sure that chase was not a difficult task for Team India. So I would give it to Sanju Samson.
Okay, Harbhajan is gone with Sanju. Sanju once again gets 89, but just the update that I'm getting right now. The man of the match for this game, no surprises there. Again, there was a contest between Jasprit, Bumrah, Sanju Samson, because Sanju got the most, 89 runs. But the man of the match is Jasprit Bumrah. He gave away only 15 runs, picking up 4 wickets in this encounter. This time it's gone to Jasprit Bumrah. But Maninder, same question to you. I'm not asking about the player of the match. I think that also is a 50-50 call. But player of the tournament, there's Jasprit Bumrah, there is Sanju Samson. I guess there is a Hardik Pandya somewhere lurking behind. There is a Akshar Patel too. It's not an easy choice.
Well, I think Sanju Samson would be my choice. I would vote for him because, the kind of, like Harbhajan said, the innings that he played, 97 in Kolkata, then 89, and important matches. So it was very important to get those starts in these important matches, and Sanju Samson, he showed the maturity. And the best part is he wasn't scoring runs just for himself. He was making those partnerships which are very important. Like he had today, he had those 2 partnerships with Abhishek Sharma and Ishan Kishan. That is also very important. It really matters how you handle that pressure, how you take the game forward. And Sanju Samson, I think he's way ahead of all the players, I think, in this tournament. So for my player of the tournament, it's him.
Sanju Samson says Maninder Singh as well.